Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you 10 out of 10 excellent niche fragrances that I think are worth it. Let's face it, niche fragrances are quite pricey. A lot of times they're over $200 or more dollars. So it's got to be something that's really quite special in order for me to want to actually purchase it. So I have 5 here. For varying reasons, I think that they're actually worth the cost, and I can't wait to share them with you. But before I get started, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Join the Weird Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community, and let's get into this. So I have about 3 different categories. I've got a fun category, more classy category, and then a more opulent, rich kind of unisex category. So I'm going to start with the more unisex category. These are all technically unisex, but the 2 that I would consider the most unisex would be, first of all, SPLURGE by Experimental Perfume Club. I absolutely love this. I feel like it's a deeper, richer, more sensual version of something like a Gris Charnel. There's quite a lot going on in here, but what I get primarily is cardamom and spices, but mainly cardamom. I get some sandalwood, it's super creamy, tobacco, and just a hint of leather with some vetiver in there. This is really smooth. There's a richness to this. It feels like a really opulent tobacco or a tea-like fragrance. Somehow it gives me gray vibes. Like I think Gris Charnel, like it's the same sort of vibe, except Gris Charnel I find to be a little bit brighter, a little bit more, somehow a little bit sharper. I love Gris Charnel, but a little bit sharper. This is a little bit more soft, a little bit more thick and rich. I love this. I love wearing it. I always smell really like this is a fragrance, although I find it to be kind of opulent and sexy. You could wear it during the day as well. It smells somehow comforting and grounding. I just think it's a high quality fragrance. It lasts a decent amount of time on the skin. I just looked on Fragrantica, and I guess I'm not the only one that feels like this has a Gris Charnel type vibe. So if you like that vibe, likely you would like this one as well. The projection, the sillage, the longevity, all kind of moderate. So you're looking at 6 to 7 hours, I would say. When I smell this, I think really bougie, rich woman that likes to ride horses. Like she has like long riding boots, kind of leggings, some sort of riding coat on. Maybe she carries a riding crop just to hit people if she, there's something really, really sexy about this, but understated, and somehow it smells expensive and rich, but it doesn't feel like it's trying to be that. It just is. So really enjoy this one. I just think it's so, for me, calming, elegant, and uber luxe. So I love this fragrance. This is one that I always want in my collection, seriously. Thinking a little bit bougie, a little bit more of that rich luxe feel. I think that honestly, every collection should have some sort of rose oud combo. There are so many out there that are amazing, and this to me is my absolute favorite rose oud fragrance, and it is by Untamed Perfumes, and it is Blackbird. Now this is an extrait de parfum, so it lasts a good 10-12 hours on the skin. This projects amazing. You get lots of spices in here along with that rose and that oud. There's a good healthy dose of sandalwood in here as well, along with some vanilla. There's a little bit of incense. I just think that this is such a sexy fragrance. The spice in it is done to perfection. It's perfectly sweet without being too sweet. I love the oud and sandalwood combo. It's not a barnyard oud. It's a great beginner oud. It's just gorgeous. If you want to smell like a queen or a king, put this fragrance on. I just find it to be so opulent and traditionally luxe with that rose oud spice combo. So there's so many on the market, and I love many, many, many of them. So it's one of my favorite profiles, but out of all of them, this is by far my absolute favorite. This is another fragrance. When I put it on, I always get a compliment. So absolutely love this one. It's a bit of a banger, definitely has great projection, because it's an extrait, you don't need that much. So it's actually good value for the money when you think about, you know, 1 or 2 sprays is definitely going to project and people are going to smell you. So anytime I wear this, I always get a comment on it. So really, really enjoy it. This next fragrance will be likely no surprise for those that follow me, Mallow by Soradora. Now, Soradora has so many fragrances that I think are phenomenal. I love red. Red has this kind of, there's coconut, there's tropical fruits in it. It's a little bit leathery feeling. It's sensual. There's cardamom in it. There's some caramel. Super sexy and amazing. Broceliande, kind of similar to that, but it's got some limey edge with it with a little bit more booze in it. So amazing. Jani is phenomenal. That is an apple pie, crispy croissant type fragrance. So, so good. I tried to pick the best of the best, and that would be Mallow for me. This seriously, I would say that this is my favorite fragrance, period. Like all of these are my favorites in each category, but this is so unbelievably amazing to me. It's mouth-watering. The thing that makes it so special is the raspberry and the violet. In the opening, this has raspberry, there's some vanilla. It's got some orange blossom, there's heliotrope, there's almond in here. I don't get the almond, I get raspberry, vanilla, and violet. I think that this is so classy and sophisticated. I so enjoy wearing this one. Like, I feel pretty, I feel put together, I feel expensive. It lasts a long time on my skin. It gets me compliments. I seriously really enjoy this fragrance. This would be what I would consider this and something like a Delina Exclusive. Those would be my 2 signature fragrances currently. I would say that would be what I would gravitate towards, but this one by far is more of my signature than anything. I enjoy wearing this one. I want to put this one on all the time. If I had to get rid of my whole collection, this would be the one I would keep. You have to like violet. I can't believe I like violet. This was what made me start liking violet. I just absolutely adore the smell of this. With that raspberry, the vanilla, it's just, to me, this is a masterpiece. I so enjoy it. People would put this in a similar category to Insolence by Guerlain, to an Oriana by Perfumes de Marly. It kind of fits in that same genre. It doesn't smell like those, but you know, the Insolence by Guerlain, that has a lot of that violet, that candied violet feel, which I've never tasted. I don't know what a candied violet tastes like, or Parma violets. I hear about those all the time. No clue what they taste like, but this has that raspberry, that violet, there's orange blossom in there. I get mainly violet. I just think it's gorgeous. I think it's the most beautiful feminine fragrance. It's such a gorgeous feminine fragrance, and I absolutely love it. I think it's absolutely worth the money. Like, test it first, because it's not a safe blind buy, but oh my goodness, I just adore this fragrance. The other fragrance that I feel is basically a masterpiece, totally worth the money, 10 out of 10, gorgeous fragrance, but it's not for everybody, again, is Love at First Sight by Une Nuit Nomade. Now, Une Nuit Nomade has some of my favorite fragrances as well. I love Jardin de Misfa. They have Sugar Leather. I'm in love with Silver Saffron. In fact, I almost chose this one, but I feel like this one actually is the most beautiful and, to be honest, quite unique. So the reason why I find this one to be so beautiful is because it's a lilac fragrance, and there's not that many lilac fragrances around. So I think it's kind of unique from that perspective. I don't like lilac, so if I smell lilac on the air, I'm not really a huge fan. It reminds me of my childhood because I grew up around a lot of lilac bushes, but I find them kind of sweet and powdery. This is mixed with guava, acacia, and ambroxan. I get that guava. I don't know what acacia smells like, but I definitely get a fruity lilac fragrance, and I just think it's beautiful. There's a whisper of green in this somehow. So it smells like you're outside and you can smell, you get whiffs, or the wind is wafting and you're getting like little hints of lilac on the air, maybe some guava, maybe you're somewhere where there's guava. I just think it's beautiful. It's sweet. There's an airy quality that I find with this fragrance. It feels kind of delicate and feminine. And I just think it's a beautiful, unique fragrance that would work as a signature fragrance. I prefer this one in the spring and summer. And I seriously, I just so enjoy wearing this one. When I put it on, it makes me feel kind of wistful. Maybe because it does remind me of my growing up. It feels like a memory somehow. It feels like a beautiful memory too. So I think of lilac as being a little bit more of a traditional floral fragrance. There's something that hints to a time long ago, but it's done in such a modern way that I think it's just beautiful. Like, it's hard to describe how beautiful this fragrance is. And it was a bit risky. Like, this one came out at the same time as Sugar Leather. I knew everyone would go for the Sugar Leather, so I thought, I'm going to try this one. I'm so glad I did, because I think that this is so, so stunning and like I said, kind of unique, because you don't see lilac a whole lot. You have to like lilac though, because there's a ton of it in here, but it's not too cloying. It's not too powdery. There's that hint of green, or it's not tart, but green. It's like a green with this delicious kind of fruity guava-ness to it. So I love this one. I think it's beautiful. It makes me feel wistful, relaxed. Wistful, relaxed, like a memory that kind of comes into my head, but not quite there, and it disappears. I find this to be rather ethereal as well. So absolutely adore this fragrance. I find Mallow to be quite long lasting, like a good 8 hours. I find this would be around 6, so a little bit more moderate in projection and everything, but I just think it's so, so beautiful. And this one to me feels fully feminine, like it's a very feminine feeling fragrance. I just think it's beautiful. It's very elegant as well. For my last fragrance, I wanted to choose something that was a little bit more fun, but like, I don't often think fun when I think niche. When I think niche and I'm spending a lot of money, I want to find something that's really classy or elegant or opulent or something like that. This is more fun. And when I thought about my collection, there was no fragrance that I associate with awesomeness as much as this, and it's Wave Child by Room 1015. This is a watermelon fragrance, which to me, again, I'm like, why do I love it so much? I don't know, but it's just amazing. So you get tons of watermelon in here. It's so, so good. Tons and tons of watermelon. But the crazy thing is I'm not a huge watermelon fan. Like, I don't mind a little bit of watermelon. But sometimes watermelon is really weird to me. So it's not like I love, love, love watermelon, but I love the watermelon in this. This opens with a bunch of citrus. I don't notice that. I get watermelon. There's coconut in here. There's cacao, ambergris, and amber wood. I don't know what this smells like other than a sexy watermelon with a little bit of like zhuzh in it. It's really relaxed feeling. It feels relaxing on the skin. And I just think of those girls that have the natural waves in their hair and they go hang out on the beach all day and they go in the water and they come out and their hair just dries perfect and their skin is all bronzy and perfect. And they wear like jean cut-off shorts and they sit and they have some sort of fish fry, but you don't smell any of the fish. Anyway, this just feels so, so good. It feels relaxed. It feels kind of hip somehow. It smells sensual, like it's sexy smelling. I don't get how. It's refreshing. Like, I just love this fragrance. I love wearing it. I think summer, and when I think of the smell, just because of watermelon being associated with summer. But honestly, this is a fragrance that I keep out all year round because I just enjoy wearing it so much. In fact, I'm going to give myself a bit of a spritz because I need a relaxing pick-me-up. I find the longevity on something like this normally is really, really short-lived. Like watermelon isn't a super, super potent note, seemingly a fragrance, but I find this one is going to be better than moderate. So you're going to get 6 to 7 hours out of this, at least I do. I like the projection, and I just like the way this one makes me feel. I just find it's relaxing, but kind of sensual. Not uber sexy, like overtly sexy, but there's something really sensual about this, and I just find it to be addicting. Like I just want to keep going. Like I can't get enough of it. So love, love, love this fragrance. It's definitely playful, but there's something about it that's just so sensual. Love it. So those are my 10 out of 10, totally worth it. I just think they're amazing fragrances. All of them are, to me, a masterpiece. I so enjoy them. What about you? What are your absolute ride or die must-have niche fragrances? You feel like they're worth the splurge? Leave it in the comments. And other than that, have an amazing week. We'll talk to you soon.